Jasper, the people are always asking, why are you so chill? Are you just tired from the walk? Yeah? Okay, you can just stay here. Alright, so it is that time of the week where Jasper and I can just chill, answer a few of your questions, and you can just play this in the background, get some work done, fold some laundry, make some coffee, do what you gotta do. But I did a Q&A last week as well, and I just really enjoyed how, it was just like I was talking to a friend, very like conversational. Not too sure how long this one is going to be. I asked you guys on Instagram to leave me some question. I haven't looked at any of the questions, but you guys left me, a few questions. So I'm going to pick some, answer them, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right, so the first question comes from Carolyn. What keeps you motivated to work out? So I've mentioned this a couple times before, but it's not necessarily about being motivated, but rather being disciplined. So once you start doing it, over a long period of time, you just, it becomes a habit. So I personally don't work out regularly because I have this like burning, deep, intrinsic motivation that's keeping me going. Sure, it can be, a part of the reason, but the main reason why most people continue to work out regularly is because they are disciplined and they just understand that that is what they have to do to, be where they want to be. Liam asks, is it hard making friends in your adult life? I wouldn't say it's difficult. It is definitely a lot more difficult than if you were in like university. You're spending hours and hours and hours, with a set group of people. You are bound to make friends that way when you are essentially forced to. But yeah, as an adult, especially if you work from home, self-employed, business, whatever, it is difficult to meet people outside of that time. For myself, because I do work in social media, that is a great way to reach out and connect with people. So honestly, yeah, use social media, use Facebook groups, just find something that you have some sort of interest with other people and just talk with them. You do have to like put yourself out there a little bit more. Can you make a video about your vlog workflow, editing, shooting for an aspiring YouTuber? I've always been hesitant about talking about like video editing, photo editing, YouTube, etc. There are so many other channels who are literally just focusing on YouTube channel growth. But for myself, I usually get an idea. I write out the main points that I want to talk about or film, and then I record, I edit on Final Cut Pro, and then I upload. I usually do the recording, editing, and uploading on the same day, and I usually get the video up that day of shooting or the next day. I just like a quicker turnaround time. That way, it really does feel like you are kind of like living in the moment with me. I don't like releasing vlogs that are like a month old because then everything is outdated and everything has changed, especially at a time during like this where everything is changing so fast. I like to get my vlogs up the day of or the next day. But yeah, it's pretty simple once you get into like that flow of writing, recording, editing, and uploading. Best productivity apps. I don't use any productivity apps, except does the calendar app on your phone count as a productivity app? Because that would be the app that I would use the most for productivity. It just helps me stay organized. I have made many videos on how I time block and stay organized, so make sure you guys check those out. But I don't use like a set productivity app. I feel like most of them just kind of get in the way. Maybe the notes app I use quite often as well, but it's more of I need like a visualization. I don't need something telling me to do this next. I just need to see what I need to do, if that kind of makes sense. And the calendar app is just solid for that. Can you talk about male body image in society versus female body image? I feel like this topic deserves like an entire video on its own, but I do feel that male body image disorders are as prevalent as female body image disorders. I just feel that female body disorders are more, what's the right word? I don't want to say it's accepted more in society, but it's almost, how do I even say this? Because traditionally men don't really talk about their mental health. I do think that it is something that is a lot more, I guess, hidden or kept internally, whether it's the way you look, body, hair, whatever. Every guy cares about how they look and how they come off to the opposite sex, whatever. But it's just not talked about. It is definitely very, very prevalent. And I do think, you know, we are becoming a lot more open to talking about male body image, things like that. But yeah, it is definitely something that I do want to start talking a little bit more about. It's just that, you know, it is a very sensitive topic, and it is, you do have to be very like vulnerable, but I feel like I've literally showed every aspect of myself on this channel. So yeah, I literally don't have a question, just want to say your videos help me become less shitty. I appreciate that. You know, I think a lot more people are understanding of what be less shitty actually means. You know, being less shitty isn't about striving for mediocrity or just being okay with just meeting the bare minimum. It's really about not striving for perfection and being a little bit less shitty in all different aspects as a collective, so that we can all become less shitty, whether it's to ourselves, to other people, to the planet, whatever. It's just all about being less shitty, okay? Waffles or pancakes? Honestly, can't choose. Like, why not both?
¿Por qué no los dos?
How do you stop yourself from mindless eating / bored eating? Very good question, because we are home lots, or we should be if you are being less shitty, stay home. One way to actually really combat this is A, drink some water, and B, brush your teeth. What is the greatest feat you have accomplished with your feet? Interesting question. I like the play on words. It's probably when I had an ingrown toenail for like 3 weeks. And I did like surgery on my big toe by myself after watching YouTube videos. Kind of gross, but that's a pretty great feat that I achieved with my feet, if I do say so myself. Is going to a fitness major for college a good idea? I get this question a lot because I study kinesiology, and there aren't a lot of kinesiology related videos on YouTube. But it all really depends what you want to do. If you want to do like a professional or clinical field related to strength and conditioning or the rehab side, you are most likely going to need an undergrad degree. So whether it is working at an elite level as a strength and conditioning coach, or working as a physiotherapist, or as a sport physician, obviously you are going to require at least an undergrad degree and exercise science, whatever. But if you are just looking to, I don't know, be a personal trainer, you don't have to have a 4-year degree. If you're just looking to become a fitness influencer, you absolutely do not need a degree. It really all depends just what you want to do. If you want to open a gym, you do not need a degree in kinesiology. It is so completely polar opposite. How did you get a partnership with Cuts Clothing, and how do you get other sponsorships? This is a very interesting question. So for Cuts Clothing, I actually reached out to them, I think a 1.5 years ago, on be like, hey, do you guys do affiliate links, affiliate marketing, whatever? And they said at that time they didn't. So I was actually their first affiliate, and they piloted with me. And 1.5 years later, here I am. Also, I just want to note that I did my hair because I am realizing that I'm probably not going to be able to get a proper haircut in, you know, a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months. So I might as well show you guys my hair, because probably starting from next week, I'm gonna have to wear my hat because I need to, not because I want to. So enjoy it while you can. How did you first get into fitness, and what inspired you? I have a dedicated video on this, on why I started working out, top right hand corner. But I have a chest condition called pectus carinatum, where it's a sternum deformity where your chest sticks out. So in order to cover that, I worked out, built some muscle. Long story short, that's initially why I wanted to get into working out, and you know, just looking better naked, because who doesn't want to do that? And actually another question relating to that is, how has the shifting of your content from pigeon chest to your current content make you feel? So it's all kind of related, because the reason I started working out was because of my pigeon chest. So initially I started making videos around pigeon chest, pectus carinatum, and then, you know, as I was working as a personal trainer, when you are working as a personal trainer, exercise is just one aspect of working with the client. You also work with them on their lifestyle, their eating, their sleep, their nutrition, just everything. So I think that really, you know, working with my clients really helped shape the content that I'm making, because I do touch on all of those different aspects. So it was like a very gradual shift. But when you've been making YouTube videos for 6 years, you do have to kind of, you know, shift and adapt and just go with what your gut is telling you. But yeah, it's been 6 years of me making YouTube videos, and oh man, has it been a journey. Next question is, what are your long-term future plans, life goals, and dreams? I've come to a point where I don't really set concrete long-term goals, like in 10 years I want to do this, etc. I know that in the future I want to do more speaking engagements, you know, actually meet you guys, whether it's at conferences. I know that possibly a sustainable clothing line is in the future, but I don't have like a 10 years I'm gonna do this kind of thing. I just know that I have a bunch of stuff that I want to get into, but in the foreseeable future, I haven't actually mentioned this to many people, so, you know, just keep it between us. But as soon as this kind of quarantine shit is over with, I think I'm really going to dive into van life. So last summer I did this like mini conversion in my SUV, where I lived in my SUV with Jasper for 2 weeks, and I loved it. Now, that was a very temporary setup, and it was, you know, definitely had its flaws. But yeah, I just want to do something a little bit more different and have the flexibility to go wherever. But I don't want to be the van life people that are constantly traveling. And Jasper, did you fart? I personally really enjoy routine and having a routine. So I know that if I were to do van life, I would still be kind of relatively close to the city, and still have like a routine of going to the gym, going to parks, hikes, whatever. But I still want to have that flexibility of being able to go to the mountains for a week, and not having to worry about finding a hotel that allows dogs, etc. So I want to have that flexibility, but still have that routine. So I am not going to be turning into a adventure van lifer. No offense to them, I think that's awesome, but it's just not a lifestyle for me. But I am currently looking into like vans and conversion companies. So I mean, yeah, I'm sure more content on that coming in the future, but that is like the next foreseeable next big thing for me. How do you make potatoes in the microwave? Ooh, very good question. So if I'm doing like just like a baked potato where I'm gonna be scooping the insides and just eating it like that, I'll poke holes in it so it doesn't explode and microwave it anywhere from like 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how big your potato is. Check as you go, but you can easily check by using a chopstick or like whatever utensil, and poking it, making sure it's nice and tender. If I am cooking it, like just like pan frying it, I'll nuke it in the microwave for like 3 minutes, cook it a little bit, and then finish it off in the pan for about 10 minutes with some oil. So freaking good. Speaking of potatoes, I want some potatoes right now. Man, I am not even through a quarter of the questions, and I am already 30 minutes in. Hold on. Were there any times where your Instagram and YouTube weren't growing, and how did you deal with the discouragement? Honestly, guys, for the first 3 years, the YouTube channel was like stagnant. It was not growing. I did not know what I was doing. I was doing it low key, like a secret from my friends, doing it very inconsistently. But I think the thing that kept me going was that even getting one message saying that my pigeon chest video has really helped somebody getting some confidence, and just really like be themselves and be okay with having pigeon chest. I think those few comments that I did get really helped me push on, because it really showed me that even if only 12 people watched a video that took me like an entire day to film, at least it helped somebody get through the day or get through something. So that's really the only thing that kept me pushing forward, because from a business perspective, man, I was putting so much time into something and losing money because I would buy things for full day of eating videos or like challenges, etc. So from a business perspective, it really didn't make sense until like 4 years in, where the channel actually started to pick up a little bit of traction, ad revenue, etc. But if you guys are starting for the money, it is definitely going to be a rough journey, because it is definitely a rough start. What's your opinion on cultural appropriation to Koreans, especially with the rise in K-pop? So super interesting question, because there definitely is an affinity to Koreans because of K-pop, K-drama, things like that. I don't know, clearly the K-pop image isn't, you know, what's typical amongst the majority of Koreans. That's not reality. It's only like a select 0.001% of, you know, the Korean population. But because of how quickly and how big it has grown, it's definitely been interesting just to see the popularity of hyper-specific Korean content. But personally, I feel like I haven't been too affected by it. You know, I do get those like feet/armpit comments, but I think that's more of like an Asian fetish, not just like a Korean fetish. But yeah, it's definitely something I can really dive deep into, but I feel like this video is getting way too long. Okay, I am not even halfway. Sheldon Pittman asks, can I get a hoya? Alright, so I think this is a good last question from my buddy Ben. What do you feel is your purpose in life? I honestly do think it's about helping people just be less shitty. It's something that I experienced when I was working with my personal training clients, that, as I mentioned before, it's not just about exercise. It's so much more. It's such like a holistic lifestyle thing. And I think by creating my YouTube videos and just kind of leading by example on small changes you can make to become less shitty. You know, I don't believe that there is one path that you are destined to do. Obviously, as humans, we're very flexible. We accommodate to things, and whatever comes our way, we adapt to it. But currently, I do feel very good about the track that I am on, and I almost feel this some sort of like reassurance, whether it's by the comments that I'm getting or just like an internal feeling that I have that I am doing what I am supposed to be doing at this current time. But I'm so excited about the near future, not only about the build, but, you know, just being able to meet you guys and, you know, traveling down to the States once the quarantine ends. But yeah, I'm just excited to, you know, just go with the flow and see what life has in stores for me. I feel like so much shit has changed even in the past couple of years that I would not have even thought about. But yeah, you best believe I'm bringing you guys along with me every single step of the way. Hopefully you guys enjoy this little chit chat style Q&A. I think I'm gonna do it on a weekly basis because, as you guys saw, I got a fuck ton of questions. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for anything else you guys want to see on my channel, leave them in the comment section down below. Other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and remember to be less shitty. Isn't that right, Jasper? Jasper, can you tell these guys to be less shitty? Yeah? Alright, give me a goodbye boop. 3, 2, oh, he's getting excited. 3, 2, 1, boop!